Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So today we've got a little project going on. I'm going to have to go ahead and rip the turbo out of the 6.0 Powerstroke because it already has forward to backward shaft play, and I will show that to you later. I'm not going to add the turbo removal to this video. There'll be a link above somewhere for it to cut this video shorter, but go watch that if you need to know. I'm going to go rip this turbo out, and I'll be right back. Okay, let me get up in here a little bit better so I can do this. So all I did was just take the cold air intake out just to get to the turbo, and I'm gonna grab it and pull and push. That is way too much turbo shaft play. Like, that's not supposed to have any forward to back at all. Like, it's even got some up and down. So yeah, this thing is pretty damn shot. Alright guys, so now we are at the point where we have the turbo out of the truck. I don't know if I said this before or not, but I'll link a video above on taking the turbo out, because this is just going to be breaking this thing apart and cleaning it. So here's the rebuild kit that I got. I have a new unison ring along with the vanes for it. And here's the rebuild kit. I'll put a link to that down below. I also went ahead and bought the 10 blade exhaust propeller upgrade. So this is supposed to lower your EGTs. There is a after effect of it being a louder whistle, but I'm more interested in the lower EGTs. But I'm gonna put the rebuild kit to the side, and we're gonna go over this stuff and like break this thing apart and start cleaning some shit. I'll be right back. All right, so what do we have here as far as tools? So I've got my 3/8 inch ratchet, and then I've got a 1/2 inch ratchet. All right. As far as sockets for the 1/2 inch ratchet, I've got my 7/8. This is going to be for the back side of the exhaust propeller, okay? You're going to want to use a 6-point 14 millimeter. This is going to be for the other side of your turbine propeller. This is for the cold side. You want to use a 6-point because you don't want to try to round that nut out. You're going to need a 12-point 8 millimeter, okay? And an 11 millimeter to do this clamp that is on the exhaust side right here. All right, so get some penetrating spray, WD-40, whatever. I got some brushes. I got some attachments for my drill. This was like 15 bucks. And I got some Scotch-Brite. I'm gonna get my lube out, and let's get this done. All right, so I went ahead and removed this heat shield here. It's 3/8 millimeters. You can use a 6-point or a 12-point, doesn't matter. But I'm gonna put this to the side. You don't have to take this off if you don't want to. I just did it. All right, so now I'm gonna get my 11 millimeter, and I'm gonna loosen this clamp here, this V-band clamp for the turbo. It holds the exhaust side to the compressor side. All right, let's get that and I'll be back. All right, so now that we got the clamp loose, I'm gonna take the old trusty rubber hammer, and then we're gonna try to give this some love taps on this housing down here and try to get this separated. Oh, another thing to add here is you can mark the positions of the clamps, and you can mark the positions of the way the turbo's clocked and stuff like that, but you can't put this together wrong. It's got markings on it all over the place, and I'll show you as we go along. All right, so with plenty of PB Blaster and liberal smacks with my rubber hammer, I was able to get it separated. So I was going to show you. See how dirty this thing is. This thing is toast, guys. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do is, now that I have this apart, I'm going to take this unison ring off, and I'm going to get this cleaned up, and I'll be right back. All right, so we got the other side of the turbo set away. We're going to get this out and start cleaning it. I don't know if you can tell right here on this unison ring loop, this big oval, it's starting to get a little bit of wear to make it like teardropped at one side. I can see it here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. All right, and we're gonna get all these vanes out. All right, so that's the old dirty ass turbo. All right, so now I'm gonna get my drill, get these attachments, actually I'm probably gonna get some gasoline, because that is cheap, and we're gonna clean the hell out of this thing, and I'll be back. All right, so this is gas, and I'm just gonna get in here and try to scrub the hell out of this thing. All right, so now I'm gonna use this round wheel, and I'm gonna go down in the exhaust side that connects to the downpipe. And I'm gonna get that real good, and then I'm gonna do the where the Y pipe mates to the turbo itself. All right, so this is left-handed threads, so lefty-loosey does not work here, it's righty-loosey. Lefty-loosey, right? So my left is that way, so that actually tightens it. But to loosen it, you go right, which would be righty-tighty, and it comes off, just like that. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my 8mm 12-point, and I'm gonna take out these 4 right here to get this plate off of here. And again, there's marks on everything. So there's a mark right here that points to where the oil feed goes in the top of the turbo. So these arrows on all of these turbo components are going to point upwards to where the oil goes in the top of the turbo. All right, and if you look, there's a square gasket right here. It's usually not attached to this side. It usually goes in this little valley right there. All right, so you can't really see the O-ring. And this might be where I was actually losing some boost pressure, was this thing, because it looks pretty chewed up. See the O-ring coming off of there? It was pretty smashed down. Okay. This metal ring right here, if you can see me moving it, there's all kinds of dirt and grime and crap on it, and this is all covered in oil on this back side. So I was definitely leaking oil out my my exhaust from this seal. Well, the VGT, it looks like it might be okay for now, and if I do need to replace it, it's not all that hard to replace it with the turbo in the truck. All right. Okay, so I found something that works. The 8mm that holds your degas bottle down, I used that. It screws in, and all right, we got that out. And that's gonna have an O-ring on it as well that needs to be replaced. So, all right, so I'm using just an O-ring pick to pick down in this hole where the gear is, and I am pushing this piston right here out. And there we go. Okay, so now that we've got it tore down to this part, I am going to commence cleaning the hell out of this thing. And stay tuned and watch. All right, so I think I'm gonna use this gasoline over here and a little brass brush to try to get all this gunk off. All right, now the turbo's clean, we got to put it back together, and that will be a separate video, and then I will probably also make a video of the two put together for the people that want to watch all of it. All right, so let's jump over to that and we'll get started.